Amy Rose, buy or sell Renan's description of his Deadpool movie?
Huh. I am gonna buy it. At first, when you read that, I was like, huh. But at the same time, I think it could be a really fresh and interesting take about it. It kind of reminds me of Encino Man and what was that other action hero movie when it came? Like Kate and Leopold. Basically, all these characters. Yeah, Kate coming from the past or like whatever, yep. And like joining this world and it being so bizarre. And like, I think that it could be interesting. And I mean, he's a super sarcastic, like smart ass, great character. And Ryan Reynolds, I think in this context, would really make it shine.
I'm going to sell the description. Now, we all know that the merc with a mouth breaks the fourth wall all the time, and we get that. But there has to be an element of campiness to a Deadpool movie. Mm-hmm. Ultra-violent campiness. There has to be that, absolutely. But just because you want an element of that, this sounds maybe like it takes over a little too much. I'm not thrilled, because all he's talking about is the campiness. I don't want an all campy Deadpool. I want a Deadpool with a firm element of campiness, but a lot of badassery too.
I want the violence.
So I'm not really, well, I want a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. I really do. I just don't know that I love this particular description of it. Hopefully they're still working on it.
It's campy.
So for me, it's a sell.
John, should fans hope Reynolds gets to make the version of Deadpool he's talking about?
Absolutely. I absolutely should hope, but that's all it's going to be. It's only going to be hope. We're not going to, I don't believe, and I hope I'm wrong, and I don't firmly believe this, I wouldn't bet the house on this, but I don't believe that we're ever going to see an R-rated Deadpool movie. And if you're going to do Deadpool, and if you're going to do him right, it's got to be R. It absolutely has to be rated R.
Why do you think Deadpool is having such a hard time getting started?
He's a very hard one to bring to the screen. I mean, look, studios want to make movies that make money. It's harder, not impossible, not ridiculously hard, but it's harder to make money on an R-rated film that you are targeting at younger audiences, which Deadpool would be. And Deadpool certainly has adult fans like myself and other members of the AMC Movie News team. But to do Deadpool right, I think everybody in the universe has agreed. To do Deadpool right, you got to make it R. It's got to be an R-rated film. Now, to do an R-rated comic book type film that can make money is a difficult thing.
I think you nailed it. It's kind of like the Punisher situation, except for even worse, because you have a character like Deadpool who looks like a Spider-Man-like character that younger people are more attracted to. Like, oh, cool, he's kind of looks like Spider-Man, but he's an R-rated character. And he's violent, a lot, all that stuff, and Punisher didn't really make that much money. And that's why they didn't want to do, I think, a Daredevil R-rated movie that they were trying to pull off.
And I thought Punisher, I know a lot of people disagree, and that's cool. I thought Punisher Warzone was pretty good. I liked Punisher Warzone, but hyper-violent, can't bring younger kids to it, sort of thing like you're saying.
Yeah, only like something like a 300 has proven successful. Like it's much more rare. The one comic book character that we still haven't seen on the big screen that probably has more fans asking for than any other is the Merc with a Mouth Deadpool. Earlier this week, a short piece of concept test footage was leaked online featuring the voice of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to AMC Movie News. My name is John Campy. I'm the editor-in-chief of AMC Movie News. And a little over an hour or so ago, this is September 18th, Fox Studios has officially announced via their Twitter account and on The Hollywood Reporter that a Deadpool movie is now officially coming. It has been officially announced by the studio itself that a Deadpool movie is coming, reportedly coming on February 12th, 2016, which means such a film would have to go into production fairly soon. Now, what we know so far is this. Tim Miller, who has been rumoredly attached to a Deadpool project for some time now, if it was ever going to get going, is signed on to direct the film. Not signed on at this point is Ryan Reynolds, but it is highly expected that he will indeed sign on to star as the Merc with a Mouth, kind of reprising his role from the small part he played in that Wolverine film a number of years ago. This is a film that they have been trying to get going for years, and they've hit roadblock after roadblock. Now, shortly after Comic-Con, many of you will realize that that little test clip was leaked online, quickly followed by a very high quality version. A lot of people are speculating that it was the studio itself that allowed that to be leaked, but whatever. And everybody seemed to just love that footage. And there is some talk going around right now that the positive fan reaction to that test footage is what kind of bumped Fox into action. Another thing that may have bumped them into action regarding Deadpool was the tremendous resurgence and success of X-Men Days of Future Past, reestablishing that this mutant universe they've created is strong and is viable and can be extremely successful and lucrative. Now, there was talk about an X-Force movie happening that may have gotten bumped in lieu of a Deadpool movie itself. So what we know so far, a Deadpool movie has been officially announced by Fox for February 12th, 2016. It will be directed by Tim Miller. It is expected that Ryan Reynolds will sign on to star as Deadpool himself, but that has not yet been signed, so that's not 100% confirmed yet. So as we know more, we will talk about it more. Make sure you join us tomorrow on AMC Movie Talk, when I'm sure more details will have emerged and we'll have some more stuff to talk about.
I would say beep, 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 and then beep, beep, beep. That's always funny. I worked on a cartoon show for 8 years with extreme ultra-violence, blood everywhere, beheadings, full frontal nudity, and unbelievable swearing. It was always bleeped out, which makes it funnier. So I would say completely make an R-rated movie, censor that stuff, bleep out all the swearing, and then release, do a PG-13 with the bleeps, and then release an R-rated version on Blu-ray or whatever. All the people who now with more blood, added digital violence, that's just Ryan, I'll just say I'm happy that they're making Deadpool because, Ryan Reynolds, he was born to play Deadpool. He's so funny. Him as Green Lantern, really horrible, bad fit. I'll just say it. I didn't feel him as Green Lantern ever. Him as Deadpool, 100%. I hated what they did to the character in Wolverine Origins. It was insane. I can't even, let's take the guy who's known for, having the comebacks and so it makes no sense.
And he was the only watchable thing about that movie up until that point.
Yeah.
You said
I don't know
before,
what was watchable about that movie.
Since Deadpool is confirmed, will we see Ryan Reynolds return?
It's expected. Let's be clear, he has not signed on yet, but it is completely expected that he will. He's really been the guy leading the charge trying to get this thing done, so I can't imagine he doesn't want to do it. I think the only reason they haven't announced it as officially is probably his contract negotiations at this point. I think he wants to do it. I think they want him to do it. Now it's just, can they come up with a number, probably.
Didn't he do the performance capture for the
Yes.
test footage also?
And the voice. Yeah.
Well, I heard they haven't announced it yet because he's still working on Green Lantern 2.
Woo!
No, I want to see him come back.
He has to play
he's gotta.
Deadpool. He's born to do that.
He was born to do, yeah.
John, what are your thoughts on Ryan Reynolds coming back to play Deadpool?
Remember I was talking earlier about there's a certain barrel where if you pick any monkey out of that particular barrel, this was the guy that I wanted in this, and he is perfect for this. I thought he was great as Deadpool in that Wolverine movie up until they neutered him being Deadpool, until they completely remade him into something that none of us recognized. This is a character that is a perfect, it's not just that Reynolds is a good fit for Deadpool. Deadpool is a great fit for Ryan Reynolds. The running mouth, his comedic timing with the quick barbs and the quick lines and everything like that, he's excellent for this. What was that one he did with Jeff Bridges last show? It was just awful. Where the ghosts, they were...
R.I.P.D.
R.I.P.D.
Why do I know all these bad Ryan Reynolds movies?
Yeah, and they released it during Comic-Con. They were trying to hide it.
Yeah.
It was the only movie to be released Sunday morning. Is when it came out.
Schnepp, your thoughts?
Special one-day screening. You know what? I'm really happy they went with him. X-Men Origins was definitely one of the more disappointing X-Men movies, and I blame it mainly on the producers. They're the reason they sewed up Deadpool's mouth. They didn't understand the character. They're like, why does that one guy keep talking? I'm tired of him. Just sew his mouth up. It was actually a producer note, to make him be quiet. So it's like, that's why it's great that he's going to get a chance to redeem not only the Deadpool character, but himself in these superhero movies. I think that's why he's fighting for it. He's like, look, I could rock this. Let me do it,
I still remember that. I remember sitting in the theater in that Wolverine film, and when he comes out and his mouth is shown, I'm like, wait, this is the Merc with a mouth!
I know!
And you're sewing his mouth!
Ridiculously beyond stupid. Him and Beale stole that movie. That's why Snipes was so bitter about The Third Blade. He's like, I'm barely in it. No, you just got outshined. That's all. I was like, Goyer put that extra love on the other characters because they were fighting.
They were trying to set up spin-offs.
Yeah.
What were they called? The Night Stalkers? Or
Night
the
Force,
Night something or other.
Just Friends. That was the name. That was it.
Is that the one Amy smart?
Yeah, he wears the fat suit half the time. And
By the way, I love that movie. I think that movie's hilarious.
That is a good movie.
Ryan Reynolds is great, everybody.
How do you know all these Ryan Reynolds movies?
I saw the proposal
Van Wilder.
9 times.
Van Wilder.
I love
Waiting.
Yeah.
You ever seen that one?
Yeah, Waiting
That's a
is
really
so-
funny one.
How about 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza place?
Nathan Fillion's in that.
Yes, sir.
Your reaction to this?
Well, if you watch AMC Movie Talk yesterday, I called it. That's exactly what I said. I had said I think this is all a ruse, and
Somebody might have said that he believed that Ryan Reynolds tweet was complete BS. Let's take a look at this clip and see who said that. Total, utter, complete BS. So why is it totally BS? Because they already know if this is going to be rated R or not. They knew this movie was going to be rated R or not when they greenlit it or didn't greenlight it. When Ryan Reynolds was trying all that time and for all the years to get them to okay a Deadpool movie, there was no universe in which you convinced me that they didn't settle on, okay, we'll do it and it'll be rated R, or we'll do it and it'll be rated PG-13. And everybody knew that right from the beginning. I think they are going to make it R. I think this movie is going to end up being R because of this tweet. I think this, not because he did it, but I think this points to the fact that they've already decided it's going to be, and this is all just set up so the studio and Ryan Reynolds and all the fans can say, yeah, all together we came to it and we made it an R. I think it's going to be rated R.
I'll just say that was obviously the best impression I've ever done. I sound just like you if you look at my mouth. It's pretty awesome.
Schnepp, buy or sell the MPAA rating and explanation for Deadpool?
Yeah, I fully buy it. Hell yeah! You know, we've been wanting these MPAA people to wake up and smell the coffee, and I'm glad that Fox had the testicular fortitude to make this happen, because this is what we wanted, and now it's going to just all depend on all of you people who wanted an R-rated superhero film, especially Deadpool, to go out and pay for it with your real money and see it and support it and make it a big hit, because that's what it has to be now to support other more adult franchises. So,
what the part about this that I'll be honest, the part obviously getting an R rating does not surprise us. They announced that they were doing that. The part that surprises me though, in the description, strong violence, no surprise. But these next two, where did it go? And language throughout, we knew that. But then sexual content and graphic nudity. These are the same tags that they put on 50 Shades of Grey last year, by the way. Right. I'm a little surprised by that. Now, we saw in one of the Red Band's trailer, he goes into a strip club, there's going to be a topless girl there, but that doesn't get that tag graphic nudity. They don't usually put that on for a topless shot here, there, or whatever. They'll put nudity, some nudity, whatever. So I find that a little surprising. There's going to be a little bit more rubbing of body parts in this movie than I was originally anticipating. By the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you should follow me at John Campia. But I put up this a picture that sent to me today.
Sorry, you're just, there's a lot of nudity. By the way, I put up a picture of that.
You really want to get your day started right.
Laying on a bearskin rug.
I call this image seduction.
Same thoughts as you guys. We knew it was going to be rated R, as it should be. They said they were going for the rated R. Everything that we've seen so far indicated that it was going to be rated R. But I'm actually not shocked about the sex and nudity, because in one of I guess the last Red Band trailer, you see him going at it with his wife, right? And that looks and she, great actress, has been known to do a lot of nude sexual scenes before. She's done it in Homeland. She's done it in a few other movies too. So not surprised at all. And they're going, pun intended, balls to the wall.
Now you just gave them an idea for a new spot.
Yeah, there you go.
Ryan Reynolds slapping his balls against
Balls
the
to the
wall.
wall.
And without saying balls to the wall, he'll just turn to the camera and say, "Do you get it?"
Yep. With
All
an
right.
R, with a rated R on the balls.
My guess is it could be a monetary thing. Like he was like, I've been Colossus for 3 times.
You really think this kid's demanding big money?
It doesn't really make that much sense, or the role is so small. I haven't read the script or anything. I can't see it unless they're like, we're casting Danny DeVito as Colossus. We're going totally different, like DeVito turning into metal, like him screaming. That would be. That's a great idea.
Mark, buy or sell Colossus having a large role in the upcoming Deadpool movie?
I buy me going to Hawaii Comic-Con next year. That's my takeaway from this story. I had no idea that was a thing, and now I want to go.
Yeah, from Colossus was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid. Just the way he's drawn, the weird, crazy metallic body. And then we saw the trailer for Deadpool, and he's done just the closest to the comic I've ever seen him so far. The way he looked in the comic book they did a great job. But then I remember reading the actor that they had playing Colossus in the last few movies.
Cudmore or something?
Yeah,
his
something
name?
like that. Sean Cudmore or something. But he's not in this. And he said, the reason I'm not in it is they said it's just a cameo and I don't have any lines, or I have one line or something. And I'm not in my human form, I'm in my metallic form. And so he said, I don't want to do it. And now I'm hearing from Liefeld that he's in it more than a cameo. I don't buy it. I'm selling this because I don't buy what Liefeld's preaching. I think what we saw in the trailer is that scene. Granted, it's not a cameo like Colossus, like, hey kids, and he's in the movie.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah, it's not a cameo, but it's also not like he's like hanging out with Deadpool. It's like that one scene is, I think, all we get with Colossus, but it's an entire scene where Deadpool has to fight Colossus. So I think it's a full scene.
So you don't think we're going to see Colossus in all 3 acts of the movie?
Nope.
John, what'd you think of this new trailer?
Okay. This was such a Christmas miracle, this trailer. This trailer was so good.
I also loved his dirty sense of humor. So
Oh
I
my gosh,
like
so
it
good.
was so great. It was hilarious.
I almost spit out my hot chocolate when he goes, now I never say this, but don't swallow. I mean, I was like, it was outrageous. Look,
So great.
I've got a lot of people already writing to me. We're already over the weekend, we're writing to me, John, this is the greatest trailer of the year. I'm not ready to say that. To me, still, but what a great trailer to end the year with. To me, the best trailer that we've got in 2015 is still that Comic-Con Batman versus Superman trailer. That is still, to me, the best trailer of the year. Maybe one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen. I think I would squeeze Captain America Civil War in number 2, because that first trailer was just dying. A very different trailer from that Batman v Superman one. But I feel very comfortable saying, thank you so much, Ray, for that picture. I feel really good.
John, let's start with you. What did you think of the movie?
All right, so here it is. So we went to go see Deadpool last week, and I've been expecting a good, fun movie. Because the marketing campaign has been, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the single greatest marketing campaign I have ever seen conducted for a major motion picture. They just handled it perfectly. This type of a campaign would not work for other movies, but they found the exact way to style a campaign for this particular movie, and they did it perfectly. And I was worried going in, because it's like, the problem with having such a good campaign is that your expectations are so high. But I felt it was going to be funny. I mean, I had really good hopes. I was going in expecting to be entertained. I'm going to tell you this right now. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you know I said this before, but I will say it. I have not been this thoroughly entertained watching a movie in a theater than I have been since seeing the first screening of The Avengers that I saw. That because my wife was with me when I saw the first press screening for The Avengers years ago, and she can tell you I came out shaking. I was so excited and overwhelmed by the film and had so much fun, blah, blah, blah. I have not had this much fun since watching that. And I'm going to tell you right now, you know what I think of The Force Awakens? I had a lot more fun watching this movie than I did The Force Awakens. And I am the Star Wars guy. I cannot believe, I can't oversell this. I can't believe how good this movie is. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to have a hard time believing that any film this year will replace it as my favorite film of 2016. I'm seeing it again on Thursday night. But after Thursday, there's a possibility I'm going to say this is the greatest comic book movie ever made. I'm going to tell you right now, I can say definitively, this is the most entertaining comic book movie I have ever seen. I laughed myself stupid from the opening credits. Who cares about opening credits? You will care about opening credits.
Right.
I laughed myself sick from the opening credits to the end of the movie. This is the hardest R comic book movie you will ever see. There were a couple of moments in this film that I felt uncomfortable while laughing myself sick. They go all out, full-fledged, hardcore R, as hard as they could possibly make it. Ryan Reynolds was born to play Wade Wilson.
Yes.
He was born to play Deadpool. I am so glad they got this made. The supporting act, and look, I hate romantic stories at all. I hate love interest in comic book movies. The two possible exceptions have been, I kind of like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man relationships between Spider-Man and Gwen. Those work pretty well. And Tony Stark and Pepper have worked pretty well for me on screen as well. But other than that, I hate it. You actually feel the chemistry between these two sicko characters of Deadpool and Morena Baccarin. I forget the character's name, actually, off the top of my head. But the relationship between them works. And you find yourself cheering for them. And you find yourself getting emotionally attached to it. Look, that's the beauty of this movie. It's not, am I freaking out a bit? It's not just like dirty talk, action.
Right.
It's not just that. It actually has a decent story. And it's got characters you invest yourself in. And the relationships with a chemistry that works. Have I mentioned it's funny? Oh my God, this movie's funny. I love this film. I'm not going to save it to the end. I'm going to tell you right now, this will become the 7th film in my life that I am giving a 10 out of 10 to.
Wow.
The 7th film I have ever given a 10 out of 10 to, purely based on the pure entertainment value of this movie. I am shocked how much I love this. I immediately came out, Wendy can tell you this, I came out of the theater after the press screening, immediately hopped on my AMC app, and I booked 4 tickets for the first screening on Thursday night, one of which has to go to Ashley Mova, because I've got to see this movie with her. She's got to come with us. But anyway, I'm taking up all the screen time. Schnepp, you actually saw the film one day before me.
Right.
Your thoughts, your experience with Deadpool.
It's weird that I hated it, guys. Just kidding. No. It literally, just watching John talk about it, I got the smile back that I had when I was watching that entire fucking film. I was like, my cheeks hurt a day later from laughing so much and just smiling, because it's a joy to see a film like this that delivers on the promises that this insane viral marketing campaign built up. Like, literally, I went in with very high expectations, and it broke all the it really, I said it was a 10 out of 10 too, because it's so funny, and it's exactly what they told you it was going to be, plus more.
Plus more.
From the opening credits, which he's not lying about. Like, we're not spoiling anything. We're just telling you
The
the
opening
minute
credits are
you
awesome.
see the film start, you're laughing. Literally the first 5 seconds, you're laughing, and then you kind of don't stop laughing until you leave the theater after the special secret ending or whatever. But there are moments in it that work incredibly well dramatically, like he was mentioning the love story. You buy into this love story. There's enough there that you care about these two characters, and you don't like seeing what happens to either one of them, and you want that revenge. It is a revenge movie. That is what the movie is all about, and you want Wade Wilson to get his revenge, and boy does he. And it's one of those things where everything about it, there's certain sequences in it that are so tough, the torture sequences, there's a lot of stuff in there that are pretty rough, and they're not funny, but the way that the writers put the film together and the way it's directed, I mean, Tim Miller is he's going to have a big name coming this weekend.
Oh, what a job he did with this movie.
He did an incredible job of keeping that kind of consistency and tone and delivering the humor and letting Ryan Reynolds' humor come through, and the way that the Deadpool character breaks the fourth wall and they time jump through flashback after flashback, breaking through all different levels of time, flashbacks, flash forwards of the flashbacks, and then the current time, would seem very hard on paper. You'd be
and
like,
that might sound confusing.
Yeah,
but Tim Miller, it's smooth.
It's smooth.
It's smooth. You don't get lost at all.
The fourth wall work is what I think helps tie all that together, because you're with Wade Wilson, you're with Deadpool throughout this entire journey. You're in on the joke with him, and there's, like I said, I don't want to get into any spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. We'll be very careful.
An incredibly enjoyable and fun experience. It deserves everything it's going to get. I have a bet going that it'll break 100 million. I think it should break 100 million. I think everyone should go see this film, and it's not because of a dumb bet. It's worth every single penny you're going to see, because you're going to see it multiple times, because it's that much fun.
The bar has been set for comic book movies in 2016, ladies and gentlemen, and Batman v Superman, they're shaking in their tights right now because Deadpool was so much fun. If you love comedy, if you love action, if you love comic book films, I cannot sell this movie to you enough, and I don't think I have to because the marketing campaign did such a good job of that already. It's one of those things where you get all sucked up into the hype, and then you actually sit in the theater and you let all that wash away. The movie starts, and this is exactly what you wanted from Deadpool. For a movie to be able to seamlessly weave between a sense of humor and violent action, and to be able to establish this Deadpool universe and tie the Deadpool universe in with the larger universe of Fox Studios and the other Marvel properties they have was so well done. Deadpool talking to us, talking to other superheroes, talking to villains, talking to his neighbor. It doesn't matter. It's so much fun to watch Ryan Reynolds play this role. And for Tim Miller as a director to tell this story and make us care about this guy who's an assassin who doesn't have a whole lot of redeeming values, the fact that we're still rooting for him, and it's not necessarily, I didn't even feel like I was watching an anti-hero. This is a guy who I genuinely cared about and I had an emotional investment in. So to see him go from place to place, weave back in time, tell a story from this angle, I thought it was so brilliantly done. And you're right, I laughed so much. My cheeks were sore after I left the movie. To see the jokes that you already see in the trailer and to have those jokes I already know are coming, to have them make me laugh again and again and again. The movie is just phenomenally done, guys. I loved watching it.
TJ Miller was really
so
good, and his back and forth banter and that chemistry between him and Ryan Reynolds was really sharp and really good. And I'll be honest with you, going in, I always thought the Colossus edition was an odd one. I mean, I understand the comics, they have some great stuff, but I always felt that didn't quite work. Even watching the trailer, I didn't really feel it, and I thought it was an odd choice. Colossus is awesome. Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead is great.
And Deadpool's comments to her are constantly hilarious.
Constantly hilarious. And this isn't a spoiler at all. Their roles, because I speculated very early that, because you only see them in one setting in the trailer, and I speculated they're going to have a very small cameo spot. They're not cameos. No. They're not cameos. I just don't know where else. And the music choices in the movie are fantastic. Totally. And that one trailer you see him get in the front of the cab, that cabbie in this movie, it's
amazing.
Hilarious stuff. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
We're probably going to record a spoiler review a little bit later today. We'll go much more into it, but we're not going to release that probably till Friday, right? Like when everybody's had a chance to see the movie. But I could just sit here. I'm so pumped. I was expecting good. I was expecting good. I wasn't expecting this good.
Right.
And if you had told me a few months ago, I said this again earlier, but if you had told me going into it, hey guys, you're going to see Deadpool and you're going to have a really hard time imagining that Captain America Civil War or Batman v Superman could possibly top it. But I think I told you, and I talked on the phone the other night, and I said to Schnepp, look, if Captain America Civil War comes out and it's better than Deadpool, I will proclaim 2016 to be the greatest comic book superhero movie year of all time. If Civil War is even better than Deadpool, there will never have been a year that matches this year.
That's what's so crazy about this year. This is the first one out of the gate. We got 6 more. We got 6 more of these superhero films. And this is like one of the greatest ones ever. I mean, and you know what? There's some critics out there who are kind of like complaining about this film, but like still saying that they liked it. But yet, you know, and I think it's okay to be really juvenile. This film is a dirty, hard R. It's a lot of dirty jokes. It made me laugh out loud, and I like that it was juvenile and dirty and funny. And I'm not ashamed to say that I loved it. And it's like, it's okay to like something that's dumb and stupid and embrace it.
But the question is, then on Thursday night when this movie opens, right? And if you have tickets to see legendary rock band Black Sabbath, or you can go see Deadpool again for the second time, the fact that we even have to sit here and make that decision hard for us is a huge credit to how good Deadpool is.
What he's talking about is Ann and I, for months now, we have had tickets to go see Black Sabbath on Thursday night at the Forum in Los Angeles because this is their last tour. And sorry, Black Sabbath, I'm going to go see Deadpool again. I know. There have been people on my Twitter feed screaming at me for that, But I cannot help it. I gotta go see
Well, you're a
Deadpool
huge
again.
Bill Ward fan, and he's the one member of Black Sabbath that's not touring with them right now. So you go
Bill
see
Ward
Deadpool.
is actually seeing Deadpool that night with John Campea. And Ozzy secretly tweeted me. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? Can I get in on this Deadpool action?" I was like, "Sorry, Ozzy, got to perform."
Even Ozzy's Twitter is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's weird.